Yo, what up guys, I'm Sammy and welcome back to the Soul Brothers channel. In this video, we're going to be talking about some of the best basketball shoes for point guards. And in my opinion, the shoes that point guards need are shoes that are very supportive. You know, point guards nowadays are very shifty, doing crossovers, step backs. So lateral containment especially is very important. Also, traction is very important. I mean, if you're going to be sliding around, I mean, who wants to play in that? You know what I mean? So I feel like everyone would want good traction, but it's especially important for point guards. And also how responsive the shoe is, you know, but that kind of ties in with traction. Also, most point guards that I know, they want like a lightweight shoe, which most of these shoes are lightweight. There are some that are kind of heavy, but heavy doesn't mean not responsive. You know, I mean, traction can be really good, support can be very good. But of course, I'll tell you which shoes are heavier and also lighter, and I'll give you like what are the pros and cons of each shoe, just because there's a lot of shoes on this list and there's a lot of good performers on this list as well. But if you guys do want to get any of these shoes, I try to leave an affiliate link in the description box. But let's get started off with the Nike PG6 right over there. I don't know if you guys can see it, but PG6 is freaking nice, guys. And it's just a really smooth feeling shoe, right? The traction is phenomenal. The cushion is really nice as well with the full length React. It's soft yet responsive. You get pretty good court feel. Impact protection also is good, and you get a nice compression and also rebound back in the heel. Materials are very thin, and also it feels very comfortable just because of the plush tongue. So the PG6 is a phenomenal performer, and I feel like most people will enjoy it. Next, we got the Nike Immortality, and also it's a super cheap shoe. It's 80 bucks, but I believe I've seen it on sale for like 70 bucks, 60 bucks even, but it might not be on sale right now. And also there is a really cool colorway that I saw come out. It's like a white gold color. It's more like a rose gold, but yeah, it's a sick colorway nonetheless. Traction is phenomenal. It also seems durable, right? Cushion is really responsive. There is a little bit of compression from the Phylon midsole, although it's not the best for impact protection. So if you're looking for impact protection, the Immortality probably isn't the best option. But if you're looking for good court feel and responsiveness, the Immortality is great. Materials also are really thin. I would say it's even like one of the thinnest on this list. But also, I really had no issues with support, especially lateral containment. And also, it's a really lightweight shoe. I feel like it might even be the lightest shoe on this list. I feel like it came in at around like 10 ounces, if I remember correctly. So the Immortality is a great option. Just watch out for the cushion. All right, next is a shoe that you can't get anymore just because it always sells out. And I feel like everyone just wants it, right? But Nike's not giving it to us. But anyways, yeah, it's the Nike Zoom GT Cut. And really nice. Traction is phenomenal. Picks up a little bit of dust, but if you wipe, you're good to go. Cushion also feels great. You got that full length drop-in React midsole and a full length Zoom Strobel unit right underneath that. So you get the React right underneath your foot, and you get that bouncy Zoom unit. And it feels awesome, right? It feels really good for court feel actually, which is pretty surprising. It feels bouncy, but not too bouncy just because you also have that React underneath, or I guess between your foot and the Zoom unit. Materials are pretty nice. I mean, it's not the softest material, especially comparing it to like the PG6 and the Immortality, but it's still nice. It's supportive. It's really good for lateral containment. Great looking shoe as well. So the Zoom GT Cut, if you can get it, then 100% get it. All right, next we got a sleeper. You shouldn't sleep on this shoe, but it is the Anta GH3. So phenomenal traction. If you're playing on a clean court, it bites very hard. It also has good performance on dust. A strong point in that shoe is the support. The material is like a synthetic material. It's thin, it conforms to your foot, but also it gives you really good support just because that material does not stretch at all. I also love that strap system that connects to the tongue. It gives you really good lockdown. The cushion, I would say it's more on the responsive side. I mean, it's kind of soft and there is some compression from the midsole, but it's not like as soft as like the PG6 or as nice as the GT Cut. Of course, I would say it's a little bit nicer than the Immortality, but it's more on the responsive side of things. All right, next we got the Adidas Trae Young 1. So of course, I mean, Trae Young is a point guard, right? Traction is really good. It does pick up more dust than all the shoes that I've mentioned. It does pick up a good amount more dust than all the other shoes on this list. So you're gonna have to wipe a good amount in the Trae Young ones. So just be careful on that. But the overall traction is really nice. Cushioning setup also is great. The boost gives good compression in the heel. The material also, it's more like a It's kind of thick and a little bit more on the stiffer side, which of course is really good for support. And also like it breaks in and gets a little bit softer once you break it in. But of course, just be careful on the fit because it's the lacing system. There's like 2 eyelets on both sides, right? So that definitely does suck, and if you don't have a good fit with the tray on one, you can't really adjust it, especially with tightening the laces. So just be careful on that. Also, I had no issues with lateral containment or support, so the tray on one is a great option. Next, of course, we got the Curry 9 and also the Flow Future X, which basically uses the same midsole and outsole. Like the best stop that you'll ever experience. Like you stop, what's smaller than a dime? I don't know, you stop on a pin, the pin needle, you know, it just stops immediately and it almost stops a little too hard sometimes, picks up very minimal dust as well. Cushion is more responsive, great core feel, there's a little bit of compression in the heel, but mostly just responsive. It's not super soft, not super comfortable, there's not really any bounce. It says energy return, but it's a lie, right? Material is super thin in both of the shoes, it feels comfortable, it conforms to your foot, and support, especially for lateral containment, is good as well. So both of the shoes are very, very good options. I would say I like the Curry 9 a little bit better just because the fit is better for me and I do like the material better. But if you're looking to save money, you should definitely check out the Flow Future X. Alright, next also is a very, very cheap shoe by Nike, but also a very good performer, and it surprised me a lot, and that is the Nike Flyby Mid 3. So that shoe is going for 65 bucks, really, really cheap, but the traction is good. I wouldn't say it's top tier, but it definitely is solid. Cushion also, it doesn't say if it's Renew or not. I'm guessing it is, but it's soft. It reminds me a lot of the Renew Elevate, which I also love that shoe. The cushion is soft. It gives you a nice little subtle bounce back. Materials is thin. It's not the best for quality, but it's just like a mesh material, which is really thin. It's not the most supportive material though, but it's comfortable and it conforms to your foot very well. Alright, next we got the Adidas Harden Volume 6. Phenomenal traction, seems very durable, picks up very minimal dust as well. Cushion with the full length boost is super nice just because you're so low to the ground, but you still get pretty good impact protection. Material, it's definitely not the thinnest. I would say it's more on like the stiffer side, especially comparing to all the other shoes on this list, but it gives you really good support. And lateral containment is still really, really good in the Hardens. It's definitely on the heavier side though. It's like 15 ounces. So comparing it to like all the other shoes on this list, it's very, very heavy, but it's very responsive just because, like I said, traction is really good, cushion's really responsive, and support is really good. So if you're looking for a really lightweight shoe, of course, stay away from the Hardens. But if you don't mind that all too much and you need support more than anything else, the Hardens are a very good option. Alright, next is one of my favorite shoes on this entire list, and that is the Jordan Zoom Separate, and it goes for a very nice price of 110 bucks. Traction is top tier, like you're gonna get a good bite, picks up very minimal dust as well, and the cushioning setup is really nice. You know, it's not too much, like, you know, it's some people, if you don't like that crazy bounce from the Zoom Strobel unit, you get a nice subtle bounce in the forefoot. You know, there's a little like rectangular forefoot Zoom unit, and the heel is pretty nice. You know, there's a little bit of compression there. So the overall cushioning setup is very, very good for me personally. Materials also I really liked. It's very minimal, but also I didn't really have any issues with support. So the Zoom Separate, it's a really good option. I definitely do recommend that shoe. Alright, next we got the Nike Kyrie Infinity. So the Kyrie Infinity, great option. Traction is solid. I wouldn't say it's like top tier as far as the bite goes, especially comparing it to like, I don't know, the PG6, the Harden Volume 6 Zoom Separate, but it still has a solid bite. Cushion, you also get that forefoot Zoom Strobel unit, which is super bouncy. You get a lot of compression from that. You do lose a little bit of responsiveness though from that Zoom unit just because of the compression. So I do watch out for that if you want a really responsive setup, like the cushion in the Giannis Immortality. Materials are really, really thin in the forefoot. I love how it feels. The Kyrie 8 is a great option. If you've tried the Kyrie 8 and you feel like it's a little too much as far as the cushioning setup goes, I would suggest going with the Kyrie Low 4. The Kyrie Low 4 has great traction. There is a smaller zoom unit in the forefoot, so you get a little bounce back. Materials are very, very thin, and lateral containment is really good in that shoe as well. And I feel like, in my opinion, it's one of the best looking shoes on this list. And speaking of great looking shoes, the MB1 is also on this list. MB1 is freaking phenomenal, guys. The traction is really good. The bite is amazing, and also you get that outsole curvature, which I love. It reminds me of the old school Kyries. A cushion, the core feel isn't the best, but you get great impact protection. It's soft with that full length nitro foam. And then the padding in the upper feels really nice and cozy. Although it's not the most minimal feeling shoe and minimal feeling upper, but there is that trade-off, of course, with a comfort and that minimal feel, which I don't really mind in the MB1 just because it doesn't feel like crazy bulky, right? And also support is great in the MB1 as well. So yeah, the MB1 is a great option. One of my favorite shoes to play in on this list as well. Next, we got the Jordan 36 full-length zoom stroll unit, which is super bouncy. Traction is really good as well. It does pick up a little bit of dust, but you're good to go if you do a very easy and very slight wipe. Materials are very thin with the nano weave, I believe is what it was called. You can literally see through the upper, but also support is really good just because the midsole does come up a lot to act as a sidewall. So the Jordan 36 is a great option. And of course, can't really put the Jordan 36 on this list without putting the KD14 on this list. I would say I like the KD14 a little bit better just because it does add that full length cush line, which also gives you nice compression and it's soft. Some people say it's a little too much, but for me, it's really good. The traction is top tier as well. It picks up very minimal dust and has a very good bite. Materials, although it's not the best for quality, especially for 150 bucks, it's really thin. It conforms to your foot very well. And also for lateral containment, it's very good. So the KD14, it's been on many lists. It's a great performer and I feel like most people will like it. Alright, next we got the All City 9. So I got the All City 10 coming in a little bit, maybe in like a week or two, and I'm very excited about that. But the 18-9, one of my favorite shoes. It's right there. And yeah, the AC9 is a phenomenal performer. Traction is good, cushion also is good, impact protection and all that, you'll be good to go. It's a very responsive shoe and super supportive shoe as well. So of course, if you're looking for the lightest shoe, probably not the best option. Next, we got the Leaning Speed 8 Premium, which also is right there. Traction is really nice. Court feel for the cushion is really good. Also, you have a little bit of compression in the heel. Materials are super thin and support is good as well. So the Speed 8 Premium is a great option. And last but not least, it's a shoe that I'm still testing out, but I'm absolutely loving. And that is the Leaning D-Low Ice. The traction is freaking phenomenal. The cushion also, it sucks. It's very low to the ground. I wouldn't say it sucks. I would say it's comparable to like the Giannis Immortality. So it's like kind of soft and there's a little bit of compression, but for the most part, impact protection isn't the best. Material though is very thin, but also super supportive. So yeah, the D-Low Ice, I'm really liking the shoe overall. And I feel like it's more like a lighter and also kind of like a baby version of the AC9, which of course is a good thing. But anyways, that's my list. Yeah, sorry, it was a super long list, but all of these shoes are really good. Amazing performers, but they are different as far as like how they feel and also like the cushioning setup. So of course, if you guys want more information on each individual shoe, do check out each shoe's performance review because of course everyone has their own preference in what they want in a basketball shoe. But anyways, my favorite shoes on this list right now are the PG6, the Curry 9, the Harden Volume 6, the Zoom Separate, the MB1, and the KD14. But I really can't go wrong with any of these shoes. But anyways, that about wraps it up. Again, if you guys do want to cop any of these shoes, I'll try to leave an affiliate link in the description box, but that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.